Yuri box, whatever it's called. Maybe we could try and write those such that you don't have to deal with the page system. I think that might be a bit of an improvement.
Name TBD.
Yeah, Yuri box.
Snowiest Day is asking us what the new Slayer creature is going to be, and I think we kind of decided today.
I wouldn't call it a
Can't
definitive
remember.
result,
Yeah,
but I certainly liked where we were going with the original idea.
Yeah, we've got an actual idea now, which is a
I
start.
can't remember, what was it?
It was
The Smoke Devil.
Oh, the Smoke Devil. Yes,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Basically, we're going to, well, we discussed the possibility of adding an area to, was it the Smoky Dungeon in Polivnich? Where
I think we were going to stick with, or I hoped we were going to stick with the gnome one, because the Polivnich one, I keep saying that wrong, is miles away and very difficult to get to.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah, that's fine.
Well, we could do both.
Yeah.
And then if you're on target, you can. If you're on assignment, you can do it in our dungeon, Neve's dungeon. If you aren't on assignment, you just want to kill the things for pleasure and profit, then you can check your way to Polivnich and get on with it. The well is not actually in Polivnich because we haven't got smoking kills, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think we're going to go with the idea of the Smoke Devil, which is the we just take the summoning model of the Smoke Devil, of course,
Which
and
we've
just use that, make it bigger, have some sort of story. Well, I say story. We had some sort of
Yeah.
rough plan as to how it ended up being some sort of mutated Dust Devil, but
It got smoked.
yeah. So I think if we go ahead with it, you'll sort of,
Yeah, sort of
read into
mutated
the story.
kind of Dust
I think if
Devil.
we go ahead with it, you'll sort of read into the story as we make it, and you'll see the sort of play on words that we go with. But since-
I like the mechanics of the Dust Devils, and I think creating a boss monster of the Smoke Devil is can have a lot of interesting features.
Yes, and I can imagine us doing a lovely arena for that with maybe lava and smoke and other stuff to give it some atmosphere. It's never going to look quite like RS3, obviously, but we can do what we can.
Asks, I've missed the name, can we add a King Lava Dragon? We could, but we've just released 6 bosses. We've got another 2 to come with Slayer, so I think that's enough for now. we can always come back at a later date. Someone else asked, how did that G-Maul taste earlier, Mod Reach? G-Maul and unlimited special attack is fun.
Yeah.
you still only just got the kill.
You had a potato, you just spam clicking it, and I still killed you.
So, Characters Cave asks, who's Andrew Gower? He is the founder and creator of RuneScape. He doesn't work for us anymore. He's doing his own thing, making a game of his own. You can follow him on Twitter. But we haven't got him around anymore, I'm afraid. What have we got? Kid of the Dragon wants to know if there's a GE coming. As we covered earlier briefly, there's a lot of people say do the GE. There's a lot of people say no GE. And I don't know if it gets 75%. And even if it did, there's a lot of people really don't seem to want it. So what we'd like is to try and find some kind of compromise. See, there's some people say they like the GE because it saves them standing in World 1 shouting around all the other people shouting. And that's a good reason to want it. But there's other people who like that when you're trading you actually have to go and meet somebody and do the trade there. Well, some people feel that way, some people don't. I don't know how strongly that feeling is. There's some other thoughts about how it's bad for price manipulation. If the game's got a sort of official price and everyone's being told what Jagex thinks the price ought to be, that may not be very popular. And I know there's been a lot of people trying to manipulate prices up and down when we had the GE before. So, could be we'd end up designing a GE for you, a trading system for you that helps you find players to trade with, but maybe doesn't do the trade for you, leaves you to meet up with them directly and helps you find them. Or maybe it does the trade for you but doesn't offer guide prices in the way the GE used to. It's really going to be up to you guys what sort of trading solution you want. We don't have to stick with what the GE was before. On the other hand, if it turns out that everybody really is happy with it, and the 5 or 6 people I can see saying no GE turn out to be just those 5 or 6 people, then we could probably get the engine team to help us do it. But given that it's going to take a very long time for the engine team to give us the cross-server communication systems to make this work, we may as well take the time first to try and design a version that is what the most people want possible.
I think we're having a discussion next week over the course of a day or two between us to work out how we want to offer you certain solutions. We've got some player ideas
Yeah,
to discuss as well. So we're heading there.
yeah. Put together some thoughts to offer you and see what comes back from you.
I've missed the name again because I'm terrible. There was. You've got the question now as well, so let's just move on.
That was quick.
Okay, Not So Formal wants us to bring back Summoning and the Corporeal Beast. Well, actually, he asks for the Corporal Beast. We did talk earlier about having a big soldier and calling him Corporal Beast, but the difficulty of the Corporeal Beast is that we haven't got the model. We've asked for something that would, convert models from RS3 to our version of the game, or even from a kind of pre-EOC archive we found. We haven't got it yet, so for the moment we're not going to be able to use the original model for the Corporeal Beast. But we could try and make one for you. Trouble is, we'd have to start with an existing thing, and to be honest, it would start with Jad, painted beige.
It looks terrible. I've tweeted a picture of it before. It is just an outrage, basically.
Although a lot of people still said it would be fine.
Yeah, some people were really, really in favour of it, which really confused me. I would have thought people would have wanted the original experience.
We just love Corp.
A lot of, yeah, I know. I'm all for Corp. I would happily do Corp, and everything about Corp I love. I love the whole Zami spear.
Yes, use for spears.
Standing, I remember with Sigil Seekers back in the day, and the whole sort of standing around, and then 7 hours later someone would get a Sigil, you'd all scream about it, and then 8 hours later someone else would get another one. I only ever got 2 in the entire time I was doing it, and they were both the bad ones. I got an Arcane and I got a Spectral. No, I love Corporal Beast. I think it's one of my favourite, my favourite boss in RuneScape, and I see a lot of people there actually shouting, yeah, yes for Corp. I would love to do Corp, but as I said, we can't have the model for it. I would like to have the model for it before I start considering, pushing for it. But if you're actually really content with a beige Jad, and do look up the tweet that I sent to get a real impression of what a beige Jad looks like, but it's not good.
Back to Lummy for You is asking if we could improve rune crafting. I think making 750 million from a 99 is good enough, to be honest. It's slow for a reason. Virago, I think we'd struggle.
I think we would struggle
with those mechanics.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff the engine can do in 2014 that it couldn't do in 2007.
I think when I was helping test Virago on original launch, because obviously Old School, when Virago was being developed, Old School wasn't out at that point. Chris was really pushing the boundaries of what RS3 was capable of when he was making that boss. This is RS3, which has got the most up-to-date engine going, and we're 7 years behind, so I'd like to do something Virago-esque, but obviously not Virago.
Just try Callisto. They don't quite compare, but it's still very difficult.
Purist Gold wants to know whether we can revert Falador to how it was in 2005. Now, sadly, we don't have an archive of those maps from 2005. If we were going to try and do it, we'd have to look up all the pictures we could find of Falador, try and guess which bit of wall kit was used for each bit, and try and rebuild it from scratch. That would take a very long time. It still wouldn't look quite like it did in 2005, and I'm not sure people would thank us for it very much when we'd done it, to be honest, because, Falador don't look bad as it is. I like the White City. I don't like Varrock quite so much, because that was deliberately made to look like a dingy ghetto, but Falador I can live with. I mean, in theory, yes, we could reconstruct it using, grey stone walls like it used to have, but I'd want to see a lot of support for it before even trying.
Old School HD would be totally awesome, I agree, but we don't have the 60-something graphics artists available to make it possible.
I think even in 2008 we had to outsource some of the work there.
Yeah, exactly.
Old School HD is probably the most impossible thing you could ever request from us. It's just simply not going to happen. It's not that we don't want to do it, it's just that it cannot happen.
When you guys ask for resizable, though, we can't do the proper resizable like we had in 2008-ish, 9-ish, because for that we'd got like 4 engine developers rewriting the game client to make it be resizable and support full screen, and we'd got a whole army of content developers and half the graphics team remaking all the in-game menus and interfaces and head-up displays to make them resize properly. Things that needed to anchor to the top right rather than top left, that kind of change. We don't have anything like that, and I don't think we're ever going to be able to offer proper resizable. However, Matt had a little chat with the engine guys recently, and one thing that was brought up was that even if they can't make the client resize like it used to, they might be able to make it magnify itself to fill your browser screen. This would mean that you'd get a low resolution looking client, but at least it'd be bigger and you wouldn't have to kind of squint at the middle of the screen like some kind of zombie and get your eyes strained trying to play the game for hours on end, or in fact turn down the resolution of your monitor, which is what I think most people are doing to solve this. So that might actually be on the cards. Have to confirm it, but we could, I think, if you'd accept it.
Right. EMC73 is asking for some high-level thieving content. We've just released level 84 thieving chests at Rogue's Castle today. We've also got things like Pyramid Plunder's 8th room at level 91. So I think there are other skills that could benefit more from high-level content, but if you've got some ideas, just submit them.
Revenant 007 wants Revenant-styled monsters. Ego trip much? Yeah. Well, we could try and write something like that. I wrote their combat script using the 2007 engine in 2007, so I guess we could do it again. I didn't like him very much. I'm surprised to see people asking for them again. I suspect it's because what they started doing in later years was dropping corrupt armour and dropping corrupt weapons and dropping statuettes. Something that they didn't do on launch when they were out in the surface wilderness. I'm not such a big fan of introducing, those top-end corrupt items and statuettes just as monster loot, because we've got quite a lot of monsters. I'd just as soon buff those as add revenants dropping statuettes into the game. And I don't even like statuettes because huge amounts of cash coming in, it's not good for the economy. If anything, we kind of want the opposite.
Saw quite a lot of questions a couple of minutes ago about bringing back flowers or giving people dice bags back. Now, that's just an outright no. I would never support that. And in fact, I got sent a screenshot today on Twitter of people gambling on the outcome of an odd or even hit on guards, which is, frankly, in my mind, completely ridiculous and pathetic. So,
and it's against the rules.
Yeah, so we will not endorse gambling, we will not support gambling, and anything you choose and find that will help you gamble, I will take great pleasure in removing. So if you don't want it found, don't do it. At the same time, if you don't want your account disabled, don't do it. Play a different game, perhaps online poker.
Yeah, Hippo asked for the ZMI altar. We can do it. We have, I think, all of the graphical assets.
We've got it pretty much ready to roll. We've even got the sound.
Oh, wow. I thought it was quite far from release.
Mod Nexus, when he was working on Old School, he spent a pleasant day trawling through the archive to see what he could find, and he found quite a lot of ZMI altar was there, certainly completable. Then we may need to do a few more things, but there's nothing we couldn't do.
I'd like to rework that banker interface.
Yes, we could make a much nicer banker interface.
Oh, yes, Traitoring RS asking about the Mithril door next to Mithril Dragons. What's behind it?
Nothing.
Yeah, whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, it could be a door leading to Adamant Dragons.
And then they've got an Adamant door leading to a Runite Dragon.
And that's got a dragon door leading to the Dragon.
It's a Runite door.
Runite door, yes.
Then there's a dragon door leading to death.
Yeah. Yes, or maybe behind that is the toilet. So, Game Apple Sap, nice name, wants us to have an in-game world map again. Sadly, that was another thing the engine team did for us back in 2008. The reason they did it is that we got the separate applet that opened in its own little window. The trouble is, for half the players, that button didn't work. So although we'd got a nice world map applet, it didn't work reliably for people. Not while I got the game open. So it was not much use. And with full screen coming out, we didn't have an option. We needed to remove the need for that altogether. Now, it did take the engine guys quite a while to build the world map into the game. And even then, the version they'd got had the annoying issue where you click on it and then you have to sit there looking at your screen being black for about 2 minutes. I'm not sure I want that version of the map back again ever. I'd really just assume we were able to render an updated PNG version for you to download and let you display it on your computer at home, whatever suits you. That's quite a lot of engine support to get a built-in one though, so I'm not optimistic about getting it anytime soon. There's a lot of other things we want from the engine team first. There's a lot of things you guys have been asking for that we need the engine team to develop first. in-game world map doesn't feel like it's going to be top of the list for me.
Fred, oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say Maxscape pops up a few times. I really think we address it in most streams, so you might as well address it again. I would like to do a Maxscape. Problem is we don't have very many maxed players at the same time. Oh, 4. At the same time, we couldn't give you a graphically amazing cape. We also couldn't give you a graphically amazing animation for the cape. At the same time, again, I think a lot of people would be very against putting stats on that cape, so the cape would be purely cosmetic, simply show off that you were maxed. In that case, the cape would be almost useless for you, besides having just a different graphic, I guess. There really isn't much in the way of supporting a max cape at that point.
You can give it the same stats as the trim skill cape, nothing more.
Yeah.
Before we tried to do a max cape, I'd wanted to have a professional artist in the team who could make it look properly epic and do an awesome emote. Because if we gave you a max cape and it didn't say, "Oh my god, this player is amazing," you might not thank us.
Because they're not really all that amazing. But that's a personal discussion for another
We
time.
love you, really.
One of the comments just said, "Who is it best to send content suggestions to on Twitter?" Absolutely any one of us.
Yeah, we all like him.
Yeah, we all deal with the content daily. I mean, Matt's community manager. Matt collates a lot of ideas, sends them over to us. We discuss designs with him. Ash and I make it. John tests it.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't matter who you send it to. It will always get to one of us.
And we
or
talk.
even all of us.
Yeah, we talk non-stop in the office. It's probably annoying our neighbours, to be honest. But yeah, we've got plenty of communication.
The people who sit behind us just left. They've gone. Because I think we're too loud.
We don't need them. We don't need them anyway.
Yeah, make space for an artist.
On that note, it's quite difficult to get an entire suggestion into 140 characters. So you might be better off just posting it on the forums in suggestions. We do read them, contrary to popular belief.
Yeah. See, if you post it on the forums, then you can see what other people think about it. You send it to us, all we'll say is things like, "Yes, we could technically do that. No, we could not technically do that." You send it into the forums, other people can say whether they want us to do it, which is a bit more important.
Boxing Tiger asks, what's at the top of the list for our team? It's just to give you what you want. Really?
Well, I think at the top of the list right now is Easter.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Easter's
you
up.
voted on Easter, you voted on a Motherlode mine, and we've also promised you a couple of Slayer boss monsters, which we need to deliver.
And the ID kit, because Ashley will never forgive me if we didn't mention that.
Yeah, that poll needs doing.
I did have a question. I can't remember what it was now. I've done it again. Oh yeah, Fredden. He was asking for the drop rate of the dragon pickaxe. I'll keep that secret for a little while because I don't want to affect its price. But they're quite rare-ish, maybe.
Brother Sharkbait wants more pets and has 5 grown cats and wants a dog. We do have the dog graphics.
Yes.
In fact, I think if you're into looking through the client's download, you might be able to see the dog graphics. But yeah, we could do it. I did note that the God Wars pets poll, there was a lot of people saying no pets, so don't know if it would pass, but we'd be totally up for it. Also, those mini chaos thingies.
Yeah. So seen a lot of love for those recently.
Yeah. Chechen Boars asks, how rare was the dragon pickaxe from the KBD? I'm not giving you exact numbers this time, but it's a lot rarer than all of the other bosses because he's very easy to kill and he's not even in the wilderness. But he does drop it. Just don't get your hopes up.
Some guys asking us if we like the new Wildy. If we like it, that is.
Well, yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think you could have done better.
Players are killing each other.
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
It's that murder, death, kill is good.
Yeah.
I liked it until Dan killed me on Monday. Then my feelings went down.
That was a pitiful victory.
It was such a bad fight.
The most unlucky 123 says our key's only in wild. Okay. The ecumenical key dropped in the new God Wars dungeon. Yes, it's dropped only in the new God Wars dungeon, and it's dropped by all the creatures in there except the Avienses. The Avienses have those noted adamant bars for you, so hopefully you'll find plenty of reward from them already without needing a key there as well.
There was a question asking if you'll get bunny ears at Easter. Yep.
Yes.
All previous Easter
Right.
items will be
Yeah.
available.
That's right. We'll unlock all the untradeable ones, like the bunny ears, and we'll give you a couple of the tradable ones, like 2 copies of the Easter egg, etc.
I think that's the only tradable one from Easter.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we didn't really seem to celebrate Easter until the.
Yeah, you're right. It is actually, yeah.
Yeah, I guess RuneScape just didn't do holiday events so much in the pre-RS2 days.
Can we poll Dragon Claws? think we've already covered that.
We could. We ain't.
Someone said, someone whose name is literally just gone off screen says, can we have another Barrows brother?
Can we have a Barrow's sister?
Barrows, yeah, we can throw that one, throw a spanner in the works.
What about Barrow's dirty uncle?
I don't want to know what the special effect of that would be.
It's more the look on Matt's face actually over there. Matt just did the perfect Picard face palm. It was his hand almost completely slapping him in the face.
Everyone's got one of those uncles that's inappropriate.
Right, anyway.
I think we've got one of those colleagues that is inappropriate.
I worded it wrong.
Matt's expression has solved it for me. There you go.
Dirty was not the word. I meant inappropriate. Just says the wrong things.
Oh,
Odd
right.
question from the Juna.
Moving on.
From the Juna B, there's a question saying why are there so many alleys in Al Kharid? Now, this is a very bizarre bit of content. A new developer who was asked to write some, background plot for an area, decided, I know what, let's fill the town with people from Polnivnich, so they'll all be called alley, because that's what people are called in Polnivnich. I do not like that.
I was actually talking to Paul on the weekend about why everybody in the Polnivnich or even Al Kharid or generally in the desert area is called Ali. And he told me the developer who made it knew somebody called Ali and then just assumed everybody like that was called Ali. So he named everybody in those areas Ali, which is why everybody in those areas are still called Ali.
Yeah. Well, the point of the Al Kharid one was to bring some of the alleys in to compete with the local shopkeepers by being generally unfriendly. And players might in future quests have to try and drive these alleys out of Al Kharid to save the existing shopkeepers. I don't quite know what the politics were behind all that, but we decided not to bother continuing the storyline beyond filling the town with people called Ali.
And to this day, those people remain.
Yeah, and I'm ignoring them quite happily. I hope you can too.
Puria's God is asking where he can get an old school T-shirt like yours. I think I've got one on as well.
I'm glad there's something there before you.
No, I just have normal shirts on.
I've got the Reddit one on today.
Oh, Matt's wearing
the Reddit one.
Reddit sent us T-shirts, which are basically the same as these, but have Reddit 2007 Scape on them.
Thank you, Reddit. We like them very much.
Mine's on my desk.
But yeah, they're not actually commercially available, although we are trying to get some things into the store. It's undergoing a bit of a revamp at the minute, and it has been for quite a while. When they're available, we'll let you know.
Yes.
If they become available.
Let's see. Can we change the anti-fire potion effect so that it will not cancel out Dragon Ball E specs in the wilderness? That's an interesting request. We could. There was this bug where it was checking the wrong person's prayers or something, so if I was firing the bolt and I was protected against magic, or I had drunk an anti-fire potion, the damage wouldn't hit my target, because it's reading my variables rather than their variables. I think I fixed that a few months ago, but yeah, we could totally make that change if that's something that you guys will all be interested in.
Wasted Bro asks what are the good sources of dark fishing bait in the new wilderness. Well, they're dropped by... Christ, I'm losing my voice. Do you want to take it?
Well, while John
Dies.
yeah, we've added a new load of zombies to the graveyard, which drop dark fishing bait. There's a dark fishing bait spawn somewhere on the western side of near the Crazed Archaeologist. There's
The Western Ruins.
Western Ruins, that's the one. There's a dark fishing spawn spot there. And I think there's a few other NPCs inside the wilderness that we've given dark fishing bait to.
Yeah, the higher level ones, the bandits, the chaos droids.
They drop a decent quantity of them, so you might find you get 10 or 7 as a drop, so you're not getting one each time. So you can really sort of pile up on them pretty quickly, and they're quite a frequent drop. So you should really, you could farm them for a few, an hour or two and get a good, solid, massive bait.
King's Ater wants us to make super energy potions that heal according to your agility level rather than just 20 per dose. I kind of like that idea. Although we could also do it by making it an upgraded version of the energy potion where you take an existing super energy and add a new ingredient that you've earned elsewhere so that we don't devalue the existing item, perhaps.
The chat's just filled with rest in peace mod John C now.
Oh.
We need to get a new QA tester.
If he was actually going to die, I think we pat him on the back to see if it helped before we just let him.
I wouldn't die, it's too much hassle, too much paperwork.
Poke him with a stick.
Why aren't we publishing this game more on television, etc.? Old School is advertised quite a lot. You just don't see it because it's specifically targeted at people who don't play the game.
Matt's got something to say on this one.
I was just quickly saying, if we were to do a television advert, I'd do it family guy style. I'd just get Ash in a dinner suit to sit there in a nice sort of serene area like this in a wingback chair, and then just say something really long and winded, and then don't look down
Don't
at the
look
way
at
it
the light.
blinds
I'm not
you.
looking at the light,
That
no.
light is really painful. I'd just get Ash to do the advert and just sit there like, hello, I'm Mod Ash, and then just
wave.
go into one. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that quite a lot. Now, what was it Matt wanted to say about adverts?
So advertising, actually in about, what time is it? In about 3 hours time, there's a whole advertising campaign is going to be launching, which is going to hit Facebook, is going to hit all the websites out there which gamers are on, and it's all going to be talking about the new wilderness, and that's obviously something that we've put an awful lot of effort into, and that's going to be hitting very soon, which will be fantastic, and literally, like I said, 3 hours time. TVs themselves, or TV adverts, they are very expensive, and they're not really very good at hitting the right sort of audience. So if someone's sitting down watching TV, they're not necessarily the right sort of person to be playing Old School, because obviously they should be playing Old School or other computer games. So they're not actually that good for us, TV ads, which is why we don't specifically do TV ones. We've done them in the past, expensive, they were nice, they looked pretty, and again, if you want to advertise Old School on a TV, you're going to need some pretty graphics, and that's not what Old School is all about, so it would probably not look very good, and it would put people off playing it. Yes, that is that, and I think we've about come to the end, haven't we? It's about 6 o'clock.
I think we've got a few minutes left. Take a couple more.
There's a couple, and perhaps we should address the people losing their progress last night in the malfunction.
Okay, so I spoke to our, I don't know what his title is,
He's
our head of technologies, or he's
Head of IT.
Head of IT, yeah, he's the person in charge of making everything work from a technical point of view. And there was an issue, I didn't understand what it was, but there was a technical problem which caused something not to reboot correctly, which kicked everybody or a lot of people offline in one of the data centers and reset some of the save points. And yes, that is basically what happened there. I don't know exactly what the details of it were, but stuff's gone in place to stop it happening again. So that's the most important thing. So that was that.
Just to clarify, it wasn't a rollback. We don't do rollbacks. We haven't ever done a rollback for Old School. When you find that you've lost data, it's because the game saves every 15 minutes. So between the point of you disconnecting and the server rebooting, it looks for the last default game save, which is 15 minutes earlier. So in that period of time, if you've PK'd somebody, you've picked up a large cash stack, or you've been training some stats and you find that you don't have that anymore, it's because your game didn't save up to the point where the game disconnected. So it defaulted back to the last save it has. It's a basic failsafe that makes sure that we don't ever lose your entire progress, being a save of 15 minutes. I think most people who have been through school and have found that they've lost progress on like Word or something, it's because they haven't saved. There's an option to save automatically every 15 minutes on there. It's just a failsafe to make sure your progress is never fully lost. It's not a rollback. We don't do rollbacks, and if we did do a rollback, we'd certainly make you aware of it before we plan to do so. So at least then everybody has a chance to not go and do something that's going to, benefit them massively, only for it to be removed because we've decided to roll back the game.
Snowy Yesterday wants to know, what about the KBD? Does it drop shards? No, it doesn't. The shield shards come from the 3 new demi-bosses. That's the Crazy Archaeologist, the Chaos Fanatic, and Scorpia.
Right, I think that about rounds it up.
Cool, I'll go and press buttons.
Well,
Okay.
thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll just sit here and try not to say anything offensive.
Yeah. Or look at the light.
Yeah.
Since
Don't
the
go into the light.
glow has gone from my eyes now. Anyway.
Bye.
Bye.